So let's start from what you said before a while right now. You said like we are importing dairy products from abroad. So how much are we so far importing? And there are three questions of mine. Based on your research and assessment findings, how much of dairy products in Ethiopia are under quality, like the nutritious ingredients? And also how much of Ethiopian dairy products are under quality in hygiene, poor hygiene aspects?
Okay.
And my third question is, I mean, on your research and all in this project, what's done to help producers and processors to enhance the quality and safety of dairy products in Ethiopia? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will answer the first two questions, and with regard to what the project has contributed and has done, in some ways we have presented that, but for the press release, Dr. Alganish and Abdi can also reflect on that. When it comes to how much, I'm going to tell you a figure that I know, but the real figure is going to come from the government of Ethiopia, specifically from Ministry of Trade, and at the same time from Customs. You can find those specific data. Whenever items come to Ethiopia, you'll find a specific data. The only thing I can say that, for example, Ethiopian Airlines bring around $60 million of animal source products from abroad, like dairy, milk, egg, and others, because of limitations of production, at the same time of lack of quality. I understand. You cannot serve that to those passengers. So this is an international brand, so that they bring a lot. I know the Ethiopian Airlines has taken an initiative to bring up users to start up dairy farms so that they can replace those productions instead of bringing from abroad, so that we can produce it in country. So the numbers is high, okay? The products that we bring from other countries in terms of animal source products or any other product is high. So what I'm recommending is, like, the Ethiopian Air Mangan has built up Skylight hotels. Similar to that, for those ingredients, there should be agro-processing, commercial farms should be there, so we should invest on those. The other thing is how much of them are under quality. I think from what you heard from the presentation, I can only say that a significant amount of the milk that was produced and sold in the country are substandard as compared to international level of standard. They are substandard. So with this, I want you to remind you that the last weeks there have been African Union summit, and one of the agenda on 2063 is African free continental trade. And that means that products from Ethiopia will go to Kenya, and products from Kenya are going to come to Ethiopia. So, but we as researchers, our worry is that if the quality stays like this, there is no product that we can sell for other countries, but other countries are going to export lots of products to us. For example, Egypt is interested to send us horticulture and milk. So our industry should be ready. All farmers, commercial farmers, should be ready for this new initiative. Otherwise, the government is going to lose several revenue. At the same time, many manufacturers might be affected because of quality and safety of the product that we produce.
Okay. Could you give me some scholarly estimate, if it's not exact figure is not found on your project? Like, could you give us a little bit?
I can't give you figure. It's not a problem, because these are something that you can read from the publications. So from our study, from the raw milk that we calculated in terms of total bacteria, out of the 100%, only 15% of them are meet the 1/5 of the requirement. When it comes to pasteurized, similar numbers, only 10 of them. By the way, when I tell you this is not only a finding of our project, you can also ask the FDA, the Ethiopian Food and Drug. They have their own finding. At the same time, Ministry of Trade and Regional Integration have done their own investigation, and they know the number. So I can tell you that the quality is very poor. In terms of nutritional quality, having the right type of fats in there, most of them, more than 60% of the milk, you don't get the required level of fat inside the milk. I understand. So that I can say that is a fraud or cheating that's happening among traders when they sell us a product. In terms of, sorry, I don't want to take the whole thing myself. Go ahead, Dr.
It's just an addition that milk production in Ethiopia is by smallholder farmers, not large-scale milk producers. So it must change. It must change from informal smallholder production system to a bigger commercial system. And this implies that the private sector should be encouraged and government should do what it can to attract investors to come and invest on production of milk. So one of the problems you have seen is that milk is produced by smallholder farmers and the milk is collected and transported, and all that brings about many problems. And at the end of the day, the milk is not high quality. So one of the things you asked is, what is the future improvement? Is to change the system that we have today, depending on just smallholder farmers, to a larger scale and a more scientific, of course, system.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Right.
Might be, I want to add one more point is, when we say special hygiene and safety, most of us worry about the food security, but in Ethiopia and our country, the problem is unhygienic in the traditional production systems, and not only for us on food safety security problem. So when we say food safety, sometimes when we increase, when we change, especially from tradition to the modern, we address multi responses like food security and food safety and nutrition. So in our countries, including all Africa, when it change from traditional to modern system, we have a great change on food security and the food safety problem. So another thing, one point, when we drink unhygienic milk, does we on problem? So sometimes when you say there is police is around here, we are not all criminals. So sometimes when we drink some this milk, we are not going to die. So this has to be considered.
Thank you.
Yeah. Shall I add some points?
Go ahead.
So I would like to add a few points. Actually, my colleagues have already indicated so many points. As Dr. Ashagre said, the government of Ethiopia has a lion's share in ensuring the safety and the quality of dairy products. Currently, the government system is, particularly the regulatory system, is emphasizing on the control system, quality control system. When we, for the quality control system, the quality and the safety of the end products, be it at processor or at retailer level, is tested. But what I would like to recommend is that we need to emphasize on preventive mechanisms, starting from farm to fork. That is one thing that we need to adopt by adopting mechanisms like hazard critical control points. We need to identify critical control points, be it at farm level, at collection level, at processor level, and at retailer level. Then we have to address the critical control points. And the other thing, what Abdi has said, in Ethiopia we have almost 98% of the dairy production system is traditional or informal. The marketing is informal. So we have to focus on strengthening cooperative system so that we can bring more of the formal production, processing, and handling system into picture. So thank you very much. This is what I wanted to add.